Hello there. What's going on, everyone? We've got ourselves here. Wait, what is that? Hold on a second. I think I need to change my glasses out here. Doth mine eyes deceive me? Have we been glimpsed with an Armada article? I'm pretty sure I've read the stone tablets that instruct thou shalt only get one Armada article a year. This must be the one. This must be the only one we're going to get. Perhaps my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren will see another Armada article someday. But I'm very, very happy that we have an Armada article today. So let's talk about this because there is actually some tidbits of information in here too, which is pretty cool. So this one isn't like a breaking huge announcement. I mean, it is a Thursday after all. So I'm very happy to get anything. In this case, I'm happy to get an article period, and just the fact that it's on a Thursday is even that much more surprising. I had actually tweeted to FFG just recently and said, "Hey, are you gonna give us anything before Adepticon?" And well, sure enough, they did, which is great. And so this one is an interview with Nathan Coda talking about finding success in the details, and it's basically an interview where they're talking about Adepticon, which is going to be Worlds for Armada, and he won last year's World Championships. They talk a little bit about his card that he is designing for that. They don't. I mean, obviously, there's not a whole lot of details, but he's talking. He gives you some insight as to like maybe where he was going in the design process. I'm not going to read the whole article because I think you should go check it out. It's actually a pretty good article. They're talking about the meta. There's some really insightful things in there, and it can be very, very helpful. Especially to newer players looking to get into the competitive scene. There's definitely some interesting, interesting back and forth in that interview. So definitely check that out. There are two things that I want to talk about from this article that were kind of like before and after the interview. Outside of the interview, they snuck some information in there, and we're going to talk about this information. Before I do, I want to remind you there's a new round of the giveaway going on right now. So if you have been following me and you are not a subscriber, you need to be, because I'm giving around. You can win an expansion of your choice in the form of an Amazon $25 gift card, and all you got to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment. It's as simple as that. If you're already a subscriber, you're halfway there. If you've already left a comment, you're also halfway there. You put those halves together, you've got yourself a pizza. Is it stuffed crust? Is it thin crust? New York style? Chicago style? Star Wars Celebrations? Chicago? I'm going to try Chicago pizza when I'm there, I bet. Maybe. All right, so let's talk about these things, because I tend to ramble sometimes, so I better get to the point. First off, the biggest thing, the elephant in the room, SSD status. They are paying attention to us. This tells me they are paying attention to us because they didn't have to talk about the SSD, but they do talk about the SSD in here. And first thing they say is, the construction of the Empire's forthcoming superstar destroyer remains ongoing, and the ship won't arrive in time for the 2019 World Championship. Even so, it's hard to say, blah, 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 and they go on and go on. So basically, it's still in progress. They don't really have a great status to give us right now. All they are telling us is it's not going to be out in time for Worlds. Okay. Well, considering this article is about Worlds, that seems reasonable. It's good that they gave us that kind of update. I will take it. Updates are a good thing. What else do they talk about? Let's talk. Before I go on to the next thing, I wonder if it's going to be close. Like if it's going to arrive shortly after Worlds. One of the things I'm really worried about is like only a couple of weeks after Worlds. Also in Illinois and Chicago, we're having Star Wars Celebration. Hopefully, I think I'm going to be there demoing Armada. I'm not 100% sure yet. But like if they had it there, that would be really, really cool. So I would love to be like teaching Armada. And by the way, we got the Superstar Destroyer on the table. That would be really cool. I don't know if that will be possible yet. Maybe they'll have one copy that I can put on the table. I'll see what I can do. But yeah, maybe not. That'd be cool because they're not doing demos of Armada at Adepticon, which is strange. Which is very strange. All right. So anyway, let's go ahead and I want to scroll down here because there's something else they're talking about. Let's see. Oh, yes. So whether or not you're able to attend the 2019 Star Wars Armada World Championship at Adepticon, the event is bound to prove an exciting time for every Armada fan present and future. Not only will we see the game's top players unveiling their most creative and refined strategies to compete for the game's biggest prizes, and here we go, but we'll see the next announcement of a future Star Wars Armada expansion. Okay, so I don't know what voice I was doing there, but basically that's they're going to announce something new. So we know for sure, there's no more guesswork, they are announcing an Armada expansion at Adepticon. Presumably, right when everybody's playing in the first day of Worlds, which is like, okay, well, I hope they stream this panel. I really hope so. If they're not streaming it, I'm going to be a little annoyed because I'm like, wait, well, who did you do it for? Why have a panel about Armada when all the Armada players are out there playing in Worlds? And, you know, anybody who went there for Armada is probably playing in the tournament, and everybody else who couldn't go wants to watch it. So, yeah, that'll be weird. So I'm hoping they will stream it. But yes. So now here's the thing that's really significant about that. They didn't say the next wave for Armada. They did not say the next wave. And that could mean a couple of different things. They may just not be doing waves anymore. Like, look at Legion. Legion doesn't do waves. At least not the way, you know. I don't know. I mean, like, you're getting like 1 or 2 expansions at a time. You're not really getting like a full wave all at once. So X-Wing still does waves. X-Wing is still broadcasting everything as waves. Legion's not doing waves. And so it's like, well, what's Armada going to be? Because we still haven't been officially told if the SSD counts as a wave or a ship. And so I remember asking one of the devs at Gen Con, and the answer was kind of like, well, I don't think we're really calling them waves anymore, are we? So it may not be that the next thing is part of a wave. It may just be an individual ship. I think there's a chance for a lot of different things, like thinking if it's just one ship. We don't really know. All we know is they said an expansion, or a future Star Wars Armada expansion. So that could be, you know, a single ship. It could be a box, like currently in conflict was like a non-ship box. It could be a combo. What could a combo be? Well, it could be like the Hammerheads, which is 2 ships in 1 box. It could be like Rogues and Villains. It could be a squadron pack that has like 8 little things in it. So it being only 1 ship might upset a couple of people. And I looked at that first and said, what is it? It might be a new starter. That would be interesting. What if it's like a box that's a starter, but an essentials kit? I mean, that would be awesome. It wouldn't be as cool for like existing players, at least on the surface. It would be good for the future of the game because now people can get in without, get into the game without having to spend $100 for ships that maybe they don't even want. So like an essentials kit would be amazing. So hopefully that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Maybe it has something else in it too, like an essentials kit with like a whole bunch of upgrades. And this is what I would like. And this is kind of like the beginning of the discussion here. And this is what I want from you guys in the comments below. Or you can hop on my Discord and talk to me about it there. What do you think they're going to announce? And what do you hope they're going to announce? You know, like, because those are sometimes different, right? Sometimes, like, I'm hoping they're going to be like, Clone Wars starter box, bundle. And it's like a giant, who knows? Or, the Starhawk. That's something else that I hope. The Starhawk. But I think, I don't know. It might be something. They do talk a little bit. Well, here's the thing. They also talk a little bit in this interview about like, could you field an entire fleet from Star Wars Rebels? And I'm like, oh, that's. I wonder if that's a hint. I wonder if that's like just a subtle little hint about Star Wars Rebels. But then you think about it, well, they certainly have done a lot of stuff that was in Star Wars Rebels. What haven't they? Dornian Gunship. They have not done the Dornian Gunship. Dornian Gunship was in Rebels. They also have not done the new, well, I would say the Dreadnought, but it was, the Dreadnought was in that last episode of Rebels in Thrawn's fleet, so they could do that. They're just ideas. But as far as ships, I mean, I've done plenty of top 10 prediction videos, so hopefully, there's already a lot of ships that we have outstanding. So if it's one ship, I would like for it to be the Starhawk, and there's been more. Honestly, there has been more Starhawk talk going on lately, like on Twitter. A lot of more people have been submitting fan art and like renditions and renderings of what they think the Starhawk is going to look like, and I've just been seeing a pretty good rise of that in the last couple of weeks. So it makes me think that we're going to see a Starhawk pretty soon. And maybe this would be a good time to announce it. So that is definitely a possibility. But I think more realistically, Dornian gunship, maybe as a flotilla because they're kind of small. I think it in the canon it seems like it's too small to be a small ship. Although I wouldn't mind if it was a small ship. But I wouldn't mind new types of flotillas as well. And if that is the case, I wonder if they'll consider getting rid of the flotilla cap in trade for the fact that we have the flotilla tabling rule. I wouldn't mind having more flotillas out there, especially if they don't actually count towards my board presence, so I can still be tabled pretty easily. Or just maybe it's just going to force you to make some tougher choices, and I'm okay with that too. The game is good enough where I don't have to have everything my way. I'm very, very pleased for the way it is. But I think this is pretty interesting that they're saying a future Star Wars Armada expansion. I really want to know what you guys think this is going to be. I think it's very, very likely it could be just about anything. It could be a single ship for the Rebels, hopefully. That seems very, very likely, especially since they've just had this huge ship for the Empire and Rebels got nothing. If they want to go back and forth, giving one side something and then the other side something, that's okay. I just hope it's not a full year or more in between each of those, because that leaves an awful lot of stale time. Because that means, hey, congratulations, Empire, you just got a new ship. Now you're done for almost 3 years. That tells like an Imperial player, like they have nothing new for like 3 years, because the next 16-month expansion is going to be something that we're waiting for the Rebels. And then 16 months after that, that's when, or whatever. So I kind of hope, if they're going with one expansion a year and it's only going to be, for one faction, I really hope that they pick up the pace a little bit. I kind of, and from that regards, I kind of hope that they stick with waves someday. I hope they get back to waves. Could be a box, could be a Corellian Conflict style box, or maybe something different, like an Essentials kit. One thing I would love is for a way for them to address one of the things that they've done with like X-Wing and Legion, how you don't have to buy across faction and you don't have to buy ships just for upgrades. I would love for ships to start coming out maybe without upgrades, and then you can just buy an upgrade box that has all the upgrades you want. Like, I would love to have like 4 or 5, 6 copies of Spinal Armament. But I'm not going to go buy 4, 5, 6 Liberties, and I don't like that business. I'd rather buy the ship because you want the ship, and then I wouldn't mind having like just cardboard box packs, upgrade packs where you can just like, how many upgrades do I need? Well, let me just buy an upgrade pack that comes with 2 of everything. That I would love. In theory, that could allow you to decrease the price of the ships, and then because you're selling a whole another pack, and then people can get more stuff a la carte. People can kind of tailor their fleets and their spending for their particular budget. I don't know if they'll do that, but I think if you want to get into and I think it's been very, very well received, like the models of X-Wing 2.0 and Legion, in that you're not forcing people to buy across the aisle, at least not very much. There is a couple of corner cases in X-Wing 2.0 where something is only available in one ship, so people will still have to buy across the aisle. But by and large, the philosophy is holding true, and they're doing a moderately good job of kind of making it to where you don't have to do that. But there has been a few things where they slip through the cracks. Just because it hasn't been perfect doesn't mean I don't think that's something we should aim for. I think we should definitely aim for that with Armada. I would love to see a cardboard box come out with like all the upgrades that were like exclusive to one ship or one side, and just have like, especially all the upgrades that are in demand. Your XI7s, your turbo laser reroute circuits, your spinal armaments, all things like that people have been trying to get. Some of them were out and available as promos. I was fortunate enough to end up with a couple of turbo laser reroute circuits, and a lot of those I ended up giving away to newer players. So I still have a few, but I mean, I run fleets that want to use a lot of them, so it's really nice. But why should I get a competitive advantage just because I was able to play in a tournament like 2 years before this player started playing? And so that's my issue with that. So hopefully, they'll do that, and I'm just really excited, man. We're like this month we're going to see a new Armada product announcement. It's you guys know I like Armada, right? All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to see Captain Marvel tonight, so that's going to be fun. I might make a video talking about that tomorrow, even though that's kind of off-brand for me. We'll see. We'll see if it's good enough. I'll do a thing, and you know, we'll see. Or maybe I'll just do a live video since it's really kind of off-brand. I don't really do a whole lot of movie reviews unless they're Star Wars related. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always,